Welcome to BootSpy. My name's William. Today, we got a boot battle. We're comparing in this corner, the Red Wing Iron Ranger, and in this corner, the Thursday Captain. I'm gonna put these boots head to head in 6 brutal rounds, talking about the style, comfort, durability. I'm gonna talk about the sole quality, leather quality, and lastly, the price. We're gonna figure out which one of these boots is the right one for you, so let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right there. Give us a thumbs up as well. It really helps the channel and I very much appreciate it. So again, as I said, today we are comparing the Red Wing Iron Ranger to the Thursday Captain. Now, both of these boots have a lot of love online. They both have huge fan bases. When you talk about Red Wing, this is an American classic. They've been around for forever. You know, they made these boots for iron miners back in Minnesota. And then Thursday boots, you know, they made these for hipsters everywhere. So these are two really beloved boots and they have both of them. I'm gonna say this straight up right now. I love both of these boots. Thursday Captain, as you can see, I've had this for much longer, a little bit older. I've had this for about 2 years and I've had this for about the Iron Ranger for about 3 weeks. So there's gonna be a little bit of difference there, but I can already tell, you know, in terms of quality and going through it and wearing them both around, I have a pretty good idea of which boot is gonna be better in which category. So let's just get straight to it. Let's put these boots head to head with our first category, style. So let's look at these two boots and their style. Both of them are a service boot. They're classified as a service boot, and that's kind of like a term that's come around. These are the style of boots that were worn by the US military, the infantry. They wore these style of boots with the toe cap, with the, you know, the leather, the ankle boot, all those things, and a little bit of the heel there. So that's called a service boot. So both of these fit into that category. The most distinctive thing about the Iron Ranger is this bulbous toe cap. Now, it is pretty, some people call them clown shoes or think they look a little bit too clownish. I haven't noticed that. I think a really easy way of getting over that is just by putting in a cedar shoe tree, and then this vamp won't sink down and won't sag at all. And so you won't get that clownish effect. So definitely get a pair of cedar shoe trees for your Iron Rangers. Now, you should do it for your Thursday Captain too. You should do it for all your boots, but definitely with the Iron Rangers is the main thing. But you also get the nickel eyelets, which is another distinctive thing about the Red Wing Iron Ranger. You have quad stitches around the toe cap, and then you have triple stitches along the ankle here and then along the heel. So that's the Iron Ranger. Now we have the Thursday Captain. It is a much more narrow boot, and it comes down with a more pointed, more narrow toe box as well. So that's the biggest difference between the Iron Ranger and the Thursday Captain, is really that look of the toe. You still have the ankle, and then you have the same height, or let's see, compare it side to side. Iron Ranger is about an inch taller, but it's still an ankle boot. This could also just be, this is a little worn out, but you have darker, more like a brass looking eyelet, and that just makes this boot a little bit more versatile. You can wear this in more situations. I still wouldn't wear this with anything like a suit or anything like that. I just don't think I think there's better things to wear with a suit. But overall, style-wise, and some people are going to disagree with me on this for sure, but style-wise, I'm going to give the point to Thursday boots because they're narrower through the ball of the foot, and then the toe box is also narrower. So I think it's just a more versatile boot. I think it goes with more styles, and for that reason, I'm going to give a point for style to Thursday boots. Second round, durability. Now, I've had these Thursday boots for 2 years. I've put them through some pretty rough punishment, including last Christmas. I just stood in the snow and we got out and our car got stuck, and I wore these through the snow, walked back and forth to get the car unstuck, and they were completely soaked, which is terrible for the leather. I put them next to the fireplace, which is also terrible for the leather, and they're still holding up really, really well. The heel has worn down, and so it's time to replace that. So I'm gonna get that resold. So that's that, but that's after 2 years of wearing. So I'm happy with the durability on the Thursday boot. But when you look at the Red Wing Iron Ranger, when you consider that you have quadruple stitches on the toe cap compared to triple stitches on the toe cap. When you just look at the thickness of the leather, the quality, the sole is much, the outsole is much harder. All these things, you could just tell that the Iron Ranger is going to be a more durable boot. When I went in to get my Iron Rangers, I went and got them fitted at the store. And the guy told me that 2 days before, he had a customer come in and he had bought his Iron Rangers in the 70s and he was getting them resold again for like the 6th time or whatever. But he had the same pair of boots for like 40, 50 years, which is incredible. When it comes to durability, I'm gonna give award 1 point to Red Wing Iron Rangers. We're 1-1, and the next category is leather quality. Comparing these head to head, Thursday boots, they've got the Thursday chrome leather, which is very similar or kind of based on the Horween Chrome XL leather. This is made in Lafargue Tannery in Mexico. And the Red Wing Iron Ranger, this is made, it doesn't have like I don't think it has a name for this specific type of leather. I am looking at the Amber Harness colorway, and that's the leather that they use. This is oil tanned full grain leather from Red Wing, Minnesota. From the tannery is called SB Leather, and they do leather for Vask and for Irish Setter boots, some of them. And that's a Red Wing owned company. So Red Wing does their leather all tanned in-house. So that's a really cool bonus there. Whereas Thursday imports their leather, but it's still really high quality. Also a full grain leather as well over here. But I'm gonna have to give the point to Red Wing Iron Rangers for leather quality. Let's get to the heart of the matter, or rather the soul of the matter, and compare these soles side by side. Now, I'm gonna start with Red Wing because I've been starting with Thursday. I'm gonna start with Red Wing. So Red Wing uses a mini lug Vibram sole. This is 7 millimeters, so it's quite thick. And then you have the same material from this hardened rubber. You get that same material on the heel, and that heel is kind of tacked down or nailed down and attached to the rest of the outsole there. So you're not gonna have to worry about the heel separating or becoming unglued or uncemented there. So you get that. That's a good feature. Both boots are Goodyear welted. Thursday boots, interestingly enough, they got the Goodyear welt all the way around, whereas Red Wing Iron Ranger has a 270 degree welt and the heel is just sort of cemented on. That isn't too much of a problem. I don't think people get their Red Wings resold all the time, so that shouldn't make a difference, but it is interesting to note. Thursday, for their sole, sorry, it's a little dirty. Thursday, they do something that's kind of similar. I believe it's based off of like a day-night sole, but it's got those rubber studs that have now since worn away since I've had these. And mind you, I've had these for 2 years. It's multiple portions. It's got the EVA midsole in there, which is way more comfortable than the insole of the Red Wing Iron Ranger. Red Wing, it's a leather and cork insole, and you really have to break that in, because when you first put your foot in there, it's stiff, it kind of feels bumpy, but then as you wear them over time, your foot truly sinks into it and it's really comfortable, but you do need to break it in and it's uncomfortable until then. Whereas Thursday boots, they're comfortable right away because they have that Dura EVA comfort strip in there. But then you also you break, there's a cork midsole in there as well, so you'll break into that and you'll sink into that cork midsole as well. But it comes time to award a point to one of these boots, and I think just based on durability, I'm gonna go Red Wing Iron Ranger. So now it's 3-1. Red Wing Iron Ranger for the win on the sole with the Vibram mini lug sole. Can Thursday come back? Next category is comfort. So the Red Wing Iron Rangers, when you wear them for the first time, they will f you up. That, to me, is enough to give the point to the Thursday Captain. Last category is price. We have the Thursday Captain. I think last time I checked it was $200 or $199. Then you have the Red Wing Iron Ranger. I bought mine for $320. Sometimes you can find them under $300 on Amazon. I'll just say $300 here, $200 here. Pretty clear winner on that one. It's the Thursday Captain. I would rather spend less on boots if I can. But obviously there's quality and other things to consider. So Thursday wins in that camp, and that leaves us with a tie at 3 points to 3 points. So what's my final verdict? Which boot is my favorite? You know, you have Red Wing, they're the American icon, they're the American classic, they're super rugged, super durable, and there's no replacing them. I mean, that's amazing. Whereas Thursday, a lot more stylish, a little more, narrow, a little more sleek, a little more modern. Quality is still good. It's not quite as high as Red Wing, but then also you're getting that a solid 100% Goodyear welted, full grain leather boot, and you're getting it just under $200, which is pretty incredible. So for me, this head-to-head showdown, I'm going the Thursday Captain. This is the boot, my first boot that I recommend to any of my friends if they're looking to get a new pair of boots. I always go with the Thursday Captain because it is, you're not getting that, something about $200 for a pair of boots, I'll buy that. $300 for a pair of boots, it took me 3 years to get there. So I would recommend the Thursday Captain because it has a little bit more versatility in the wardrobe. It's more narrow, it's more sleek, a little more modern. Whereas to me, the Red Wing Iron Ranger plays more of a specific role in my wardrobe. When I want to wear raw denim, when I'm, when it's fall, when it's winter, I'll go to this boot, and I love how rugged and durable it is, but it's just not as versatile. So all in all, love both of these boots. I think you can't really go wrong either way you go. But for me, if I was to if both of these boots just exploded right now and I had to pick, one of the two to buy, I would go with the Thursday Captain. To check out either of these boots, you can go, there's links in the description below. You can go check them out on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. Let me know what you think, which one's better for you, the Red Wing Iron Ranger, the Thursday Captain. You got any opinions on that? Let me know what those are. I always respond to the comments, so I'll chat with you there. And until next time, put your best boot forward.